to a fresh week, very fresh, and everywhere is looking fresh. If any in maram. How are you? How was the weekend? It's good to be here again, and it's good to have you seated and waiting for us to come up. My name is Sijoma Uche. This is Good Morning Anambra. And today we'll have a lot of packages for you. If you stay, and then we'll start rolling them one after another. Do stand by as we begin with the press review this morning. Okay, welcome again. Joining me this morning to look at what the papers are saying. Mr. Onyekachi Ololo, he's a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Onyi.
Good morning, IJ. Good morning, Danambra. Wishing us a productive new week.
Thank you very much. And then Uju Okafor. Uju is also a public affairs analyst. Uju Okafor.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Anambra. Happy to be here and stay tuned to join us in the discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Uju, have you been here?
Yes, but for a radio program,
Okay.
not television program.
All right, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, let's begin from the beginning as usual, and that's from our website. As we have some stories making the rounds there. The first one says Anambra State Government commences work on MNC exits of Enugu Onitsha Old Road. And then Mrs. Saludo urges expectant nursing mothers to uphold hygiene to promote healthy lifestyle. And finally, from our website, Saludo reassures on delivering campaign promises as Anambra holds special church service to mark independence anniversary. Okay. Of course, it is to everybody's knowledge that we've been battling with some challenges as concerns the situation of roads in Anambra State. And it didn't just start anyway. It started, I think we started noticing this about 3-4 years back. Because there was no maintenance on them, it kept deteriorating. And now the solution is here. Okay, Mr. Onyekachi.
For me, I'm a public analyst. I'm not one of the aides of the governor. So I'll be very careful of what I say to the extent I know it. I would say it's a good one. Personally, I stay somewhere at Mopo base. So it's not more like what the papers are saying or what the media is saying. I'm a living witness to the rehabilitation going on along that road. It's a welcome development because we know that when we talk about infrastructures that need to open the economy, road is one of them. And over time, Anambra Anambra, we have continued to decry on the poor state of the roads virtually in every part of Anambra State. And 2 weeks ago, I was in Imo State. From Imo State, I came into Anambra to Enugu, then back to Anambra. And the difference was just clear. You could fly, you could run for minutes in Imo and Enugu without meeting pothole. But in Anambra State, the only place where you can say reasonably you can move to a reasonable extent is just from Aroma down through to, even once you get to Kwata, then you meet another traffic. So for me, it's a good one that the governor has started working on the roads. And I also know 2 weeks ago he flagged off other roads, both the road leading to Wayne and other areas. It's a good one. It opens up development, and development is part of what we need to improve and enhance standard of living. But my concern and advice is, please, both the governor and others, especially the contractors, they should give us a road that is durable. and not after 2 years or even 5 years we'll begin to cry again that these roads that were repaired have gone back to the former state. So we are calling for a durable road, and I know there is always specifics that are employed while working on the roads. We are happy to engage the government as citizens to make sure that holding government accountable, we must know the specifications of the road. I mean, Nigerians now, and with what is going on, we just want to be into government and for government.
And not just the newly constructed roads or to be constructed. I think those of them, the Minister of Works that are handling maintenance should also step up. Okay, because some of the ones that they maintained just a few weeks ago are already bad. So if you want to walk. You don't talk when you're supposed to shoot. Okay, let's continue. Mrs. Soludo urges expectant nursing mothers to uphold hygiene to promote healthy lifestyle. You're a woman, and sometimes you see women in the market with aka detini no pitose or mayaka weputea la na just like that. You got to go with the heat ni nemeliema or whatever. So how will you talk to the women concerning this?
Okay, I'm also a health staff, and I know what it takes to be a nursing mother. And when it comes to hygiene, you have to give it your best, especially when you have a new baby and the other siblings within. So because if you are not careful with the children or the child will end up always being sick. The major problem that leads a child to sickness is unhygiene environment. That you see a child having a diarrhea or one thing or the other is because of the dirt the child picked from the ground and put inside his or her mouth. Especially the market women you mentioned, they don't consider all this. They don't consider looking at how the child health is, the environment you have to take the child to, and as well as seeking advice from the health workers. Okay, for instance, if market women, I always use them as an example because they are the ones that always give headache in terms of all this. They will tell you that during our days, our own age, that our mother used to take us to farm, and all these things don't happen, without knowing that innovation brought about so many things. So I urge everybody, especially our market.
Who said nothing happened? Children were dying in those days, and they are calling them Obanje and all the rest of things.
Exactly. They are tagging them one thing or the other, without knowing what the real problem was then. So I urge our mothers, especially the market ones, the business tycoon, as well as the working class ladies. If you're leaving your child in the care of a caregiver, make sure that the whatever that the child is going to be fed with is a very nice, the instrument, the feeding bottle and every other equipment is well washed and sterilized to avoid being contacted with any disease.
Okay. Thank you very much. Campaign promises. Onyekachi Soludo reassures on delivering campaign promises as Anambra holds special church service to mark independence anniversary. And I know that security is number one in the promises that he gave us. And how will you assess that so far?
Well, of course, we know the word unknown gunmen came into lexicon prior to the election. The first killing, second killing, even when INEC office just behind us here was burnt down. From nowhere, we started hearing that word unknown gunmen, and a lot of things that were happening became unknown gunmen. I, for one, became one of those persons that were asking. I mean, I don't subscribe to that word unknown gunmen. Even if they are unknown, it is the duty of the security agents to unravel them. And that is why they are paid. That is their work. It entered into its crescendo when the House member from Agwata, that's the governor's constituency, was also affected, and he was beheaded in a diabolic and shameful way. And 2 weeks ago, we also know that the Senator Ifeanyi Oba was affected. But the good thing is it has started reducing. It's no more happening as before. At first, when the governor came on board, he was speaking, talking. He called for town hall meetings, actually. He called for the interest of Anambra to really rally around to see how we can stem the security situation. And it's good that it's happening. For us, we need a secured life, because when there is no security, it would affect development. It would affect even the confidence of investors who would need to come and invest in the state. And overall, these things affect standard of living. If the governor, and I know, for me, a personal opinion and personal position on this, I am looking towards having the governor become a standard of governance in Nigeria in general, because he came up with Nobel and wonderful governance process and strategy. So we want Anambra State to be referenced. When you talk of Anambra State, when you talk of other states, you tell them, see what Anambra State is doing. So if the governor can live up to all the campaign promises and making Anambra livable and prosperous, like he has said, then it will be for the good of Anambra and then people who are living in Anambra State. And I bet you Anambra will become a home where people would want to come in to open up their businesses, which would overall reduce unemployment in the state.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Let's now venture into the papers. Daily Sun is our first paper this morning. Beside the name template of the Daily Sun, I have the story that says 2023, don't vote for leaders. Don't vote for leaders who will kill you. Jonathan warns Nigerians. Don't vote for leaders who will kill you in 2023. And then the banner headlines there says, Wike's camp plus for Mimiko to replace Ayu, with a rider there in last-ditch effort to get embattled national chair out. Wike's camp plot for Mimiko to replace Ayu. Okay, then Obasanjo, down here I have this other story. Obasanjo Okonjo-Iweala push for increased investment in electricity. With a rider there, say Africa must synergize to fix energy concerns. Other stories by the side of the paper says Muslim Muslim tickets, PFN disowns bishops for holding meeting with Tinubu. And then 2023, we are consulting for Pan-African, Pan-Nigerian platform. Dogara is saying this. Osun Tribunal begins sitting as Oyetola PDP express confidence in judiciary. Abacha's $23 million loot. Federal government sued over failure to publish agreements with U.S. Okay, Senate, PDP set for showdown over INEC nominees. Bauchi bans female students from studying with males in the same classroom. One day, one trouble. Okay, let's look at another paper now. The National Star is our next paper. Banner headline there, APC governors kick against Tinubu's presidential campaign cancel list. With a rider there, a party lacks moral value to seek re-election, says LP. Other stories coming from the new National Star says ASU, NANS to block Port Harcourt, that's PH International Airport, Calabar Itu Highway. Oh gosh. And then two-story building collapses in Anambra, 2 Fiat dead. Very, very pathetic. Okay, Muslim ticket. Attempts to divide Khan will fail, says PFN. Many Fiat dead in Lagos mainland bridge accident. Wow. Police confirm killing of 2 by gunmen in Kano. It's a long time we stopped hearing about too much killings. It does appear it's really just. Okay, let's look at the stories before we continue. Okay, the first paper there that is saying Wike's camp plus for Mimiko to replace IU. That's coming from the Daily Sun. Onyekachi, what exactly is going on in PDP? Are they going to, will they survive this crisis as the campaign is starting on Wednesday and they're still sorting themselves out?
This is the time when political sagacity is needed by all political players. It happens. This is politics, and politics is a matter of interest. So it's expected that the party will look for the best way to manage this whole interest. But I see what is happening in PDP shouldn't have happened in the first place. And for me, the way I'm taking the crisis, or if you ask them, they will say it's not crisis, it's a family affair. That sometimes even within our internal families that you have crisis, you have issues, which I understand. So let me use their word. And the misunderstanding that they are having amongst them, it's unfortunate that it's happening. It shouldn't have happened in the first place if they have stuck to their constitution. And bringing it out for what is happening within that party to Nigeria as a whole. It is high time as Nigerians we begin to hold dearly to the tenets of our constitution. In as much as law is made to guide man, we must understand that very well and know that whatever we need to do, we must know what is the position of the law on this.
Do you see PDP doing without Wike, considering the level of disunity in that party now?
When it started, let me go back to 2015.
I remember it's not just Wike. Wike has
Wike has a very strong camp. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, APC needs River State. Always, they've always wanted River State. And Wike is a strong force in River State. So Wike have told them that he is not telling them that he is the God. Now, anything they want to do, they should go ahead. Now, half rivers, they should leave rivers for him. So it is simple.
If they leave rivers for him, what is he going to do with rivers? He's going to dash it to anybody he likes.
It is more like
somebody has joined us. 1 minute, please. Yeah, hello. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Good morning. We are here. What's your name?
Good morning, Mada.
Good morning, sir. Odema, thank you. Gafagi, maybe step. Dalo.
Aine keneo.
Iko onyo nyame kupo ambassador Lerida. Uko tuko about. Etu mundo abareze. Uko doma wenezi uko.
Dalo.
Tupe na option na PDP. Etu lunya last week. Abula pick up a pie. Ayana no PDP crisis. We geshe, we got to atiku those groups we get those groups that ona ha porumbo bana abu one so in the beginning ha porumbo bana abu one so mgbe adịghị onye ji ndị nwata onye aka aka ga-eru owetuwe ha pụrụ inye ndị South East position n'ụlọ anything they expect in their house will do in order. I don't know possible. PDP how they go to take their rules and regulation. But all these rules and regulation, there is no obedience in there. Because once there is obedience on these rules and regulation, they must do things accordingly. If there is a consequence, a man one or two, and well, move.
Odema.
Ụlọ ịpụta ile agwamụ na onyeisi anyị as a party chairman ga-abụ onye North. Ịpụtakwa nchekwa no presidential candidate isikwa na North. Oke n'ọkwa onye bụ DG Director General of Election Administration ozikwa North. Who is the people? Onye ndị aka anyị ga-ewepụta n'etie. Ọkwụ na bebe anyị na-eje. Onye ndị aka anyị ga-ewepụta n'etie.
Odema. Okay. Kaiga Niru.
So now why all these political parties were crisis. People go and ask, "Would you buy another country? Another country? Also not Nigeria."
And then what is agreement na parties? Odema. Dalo. All right, thank you, sir. Elder, thank you. Let's continue. We'll have to welcome others and then move on. Okay. I think we have talked enough about that. PDP and their Wahala. Obasanjo Kunji Iweala pushed for increased investments in electricity. Uju. Do you see people coming to invest in a country where there's no security?
No. No. The security issue is the major challenge we are having. And again, the electricity of a thing that we are talking about is another key issue, because you can't run any business in any way without having power to back up your activities. If you are doing anything at all you can think of, you actually need power. And when you go into buying all the diesel and also the high cost of the electricity, you find out that it will end up bringing down everything you're doing. First, if you don't, okay, for example, if you don't have lights here now, people can't see us, people can't even reach us, we can't even host this program. So that is how important the electricity issue is to us in everything we do. Mm-hmm. So looking at that, if you keep on having a high cost of electricity charges in our businesses, or you keep on buying diesel, you find out that at the end of everything, all the interest will go into the paying of the electricity bill, or you end up using them for diesel.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Aloysius.
You are calling from where?
Abakaliki.
Welcome, Aloysius. Go on now, make a contribution. Hey, Aloysius, are you there?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm here.
You may need to speak up and then, hurry.
Okay, what is happening in PDP is a sign that God's hand has come to be in Nigeria. Yes, I say what is happening in PDP is a sign that God is intervening in Nigeria's matter.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Aloysius. God bless you. Okay, national paper, let's look at the story that we looked at. We'll read out there. APC governors kick against Tinubu's presidential campaign council list. That one came up last week, where some people are creating a kind of faction now that you can't have this list, we can't run with it. The people that are expected to be there, like Osibanjo and the rest of them, we are not there. So who are these people, and how do you think we are going to succeed with these people?
For me, they've made their choice, and I know it's most times the presidential candidate who has the sole responsibility. In Nigeria, we know how to give one person enormous power, and it's unfortunate that they barely consult. Most times when they talk, they say they are consulting, but the outcome, you begin to ask yourself, to what extent did they consult? Politics is a matter of who gets what, when, and how, really. And every interest must be factored in. They know the reasons. Maybe I know every party in the race wants to win. But my fear is because they want to win and they are doing everything possible to make sure that they win, they should not end up making a mistake. And that is why if we are in a sane society where there is rule of law, where there is respect for other person's dignity, where we understand that we cannot do it alone, then so many things that come up will not really be coming up. I don't want to start analyzing the political party itself. My interest is whatever the political parties do, they should ensure, they should know that it's going to rub off in Nigeria as a whole. So if it's a small fragment actually, but when they are not working well, it's going to affect the larger society. And we, the citizens, are in the larger society, will go in for it. So they need to make sure that everybody is carried along. And let me use this opportunity to tell Nigerians, whatever is going on currently in any political party, let us expect that it's going to rub off in Nigeria. Parties where there are crises, there is no way when they win, there will not be crisis when they come in power.
I see. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Punch newspaper is our next paper this morning. The Punch. Okay, politics and insecurity. Demand for bulletproof vehicles, special security gadgets surges. It's so funny. Okay, and then another story coming from Punch, another main story there says Nigeria at 62, end ASU strike now, CAN tells federal government. End ASU strike now, CAN tells federal government. Okay, Daily Independent is our next paper. On the front page of the Daily Independent, ballooning subsidies may worsen Nigeria's fiscal deficit woes. Ballooning subsidies may worsen Nigeria's fiscal deficit woes, is the banner headline on the Daily Independent. And we'll have this other story, why Nigeria can't be regarded as giant of Africa at 62 by Obasanjo. Okay, and still coming from the same paper. PDP ignores Wike, set to embark on campaign with Ayu as chairman. Another paper is the Daily Trust. Daily Trust newspaper. Nigeria must have national dream, identity. This one is coming from Obasanjo. Nigeria must have national dream and national identity. Okay, let's look at the writer. Says country needs unifier to address current disunity. Another writer there says Nigeria's future will be great. It's coming from Obasanjo again. And then leadership quality, denying, deadening, recruiting process faulty. It's coming from Awakoba and Jega. Okay, and the final writer there says, don't get carried away by propaganda. Okonjo Iweala says that. Let's look at other stories coming from the same paper. Despite how external reserve forest pressure remains as MPC missed today. August revenue drops by 280 billion naira as federal government, states, local governments share 673.137 billion naira. Army produces pamphlets to guide officers on elections. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, let's look at the stories that we have read out, starting from Punch. Demand for security gadgets and bulletproof vehicles. Who is afraid of who? Uju, I'm coming to you.
Okay. I don't know. Let me not speak much about this because looking at it, I do not really want to dig myself much into what may result in something else tomorrow, as it takes political fighting and all that. So on that note, if my colleague has anything to contribute, he should go ahead and do so. Thank you.
Okay, that's what do you call it? A balance in Igbo language that said, no, chapel. You know, that kind of a thing, one or white chalk or white flat or chapel. So is it not a situation that we're experiencing here? You cause insecurity and then you are scared.
Well, the truth is, I know one time ago when they were asking the Labour Party presidential candidate about insecurity, and there's something he said. He said, to deal with insecurity, you have to look at the educational situation in the country. You have to look at the economic situation in the country. I mean, for crying out loud, there's this balance. An idle man is the devil's workshop. And majority of the citizens are youth. Most times when you have nothing to do, you resort to violence. I have followed some of the prominent from 1999 politicians. They were nothing. And okay, let us say then they were still struggling, and over time they've made their fortunes. But it's unfortunate that we are in a society where the youths have nothing to do. Then those who are employed are merely living just to survive. If we are in a society where people are thriving, many times I keep using this as an example. Thank God for technology. We now do virtual sessions with every other youth in the world. When we talk about our problems, their own issues is how to conquer, how to extend their frontiers. Ours, when we want to talk, we say, you know, we have network problem, you know, we have security situation, you know, we have electricity problem. That is the mundane of what we see our problems to be. But even getting these bulletproof cars cannot really solve the matter, because if they're in the car, they might think they are protected. When they come out of their homes, would also have bulletproof building. They should focus more on giving the youths into productive ventures. Every issue that have to do with underemployment, unemployment should be addressed. We have the agricultural sector, we have the manufacturing sector. Government should produce youths who would venture into those areas and create more jobs, and see how the miracle will happen.
All right, thank you very much. This day newspaper, let's move on, please. For want of time, let's look at the stories holistically. This day newspaper, okay, 152 days to 2023 polls will be set to disrupt deadlock presidential run. 152 days to 2023 polls will be set to disrupt, and then deadlock presidential run as the story, major story on this day newspaper. The Nation newspaper, the banner headline there, disquiet in PDP National Working Committee over 10 billion naira nomination fees. Wow. Disquiet in PDP NWC over 10 billion naira nomination fees. And up here, still coming from this paper, the Nation newspaper, anti-oil theft, IG confirms seizure of 122 vessels and camp presidents to use don't be politicians' body shields, because they're already looking for bulletproof and you don't have one. So be very careful if you are working for them. That's what Basanjo is telling you now. Okay, the next paper is the Guardian newspaper. More airlines depart empty as charges, rejections stifle exports. More airlines depart empty as charges, rejections stifle exports. You see, very soon everybody will be stuck here because, okay, let's look at the riders. Air freight import to export ratio slumps to 87.13. Okay, stakeholders condemn overseas ban on local yam, beans, smoked fishes, ginger, others. Regulators sneak under staff shortage, multiple guidelines, poor compliance with standards. A single guideline, better cooperation imperative, say FAAN NEPZA. Okay, let's look at one or two stories before then somebody has joined us. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning, welcome. What's your name?
Emeka.
Emeka, where are you calling from?
From Ebonyi.
Okay, you're welcome, Emeka.
Makaliki.
Go ahead, talk to us.
Okay, am I live now?
Go ahead, Emeka. We don't have
Okay, thank you.
time.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I want to look at the APC's use of CAN bishops against the rest of us. I'm happy that CAN has come to query the northern bishop for holding talks with him on behalf of the rest of us who are Christians. This politicking by APC is a dangerous trend. You compare it with PDP's woes, where they and Wike are battling it out. And Wike has spoken out that the chairman collected 1 billion naira from Atiku to influence the primaries. And now he has not even reacted to that allegation. Are we going to elect people like this who have been shown how they are going to deceive us once more? I think it is time that the APC and PDP give way so that we will all become obedient with those people. Thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, Uju.
Yes, ma'am.
What other story would you like to talk about as we move?
Okay, talking about the, I don't know, is it from this Guardian or any other one? Okay, well, in the first paper we read, I saw when they said, is it Kaduna banned girls from being in the same class with the boys, Bauchi State, I mean. So I don't know what their reason is, but I know that Muslim people always protect their female counterparts. But to the extent of not allowing them to be in the same class, to me, they went too far, because at the end, they will always move out to meet or to encounter with the male one in their daily basis. So if you can't stand them in the class as a young child that is growing up, I don't know how you plan on presenting yourself to them tomorrow. Maybe coming out to become an activist, or you want to venture into a political activity position. How then will you stand to face them there?
Yeah, I think it's not a very good trend, but let's watch out how it plays out. There are so many things that policies they've tried to bring up, but they did not succeed. Onyekachi Umosko, and I'd like to thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, IJ.
Onyekachi Ololo. I got that name.
Very well.
Okay, and then Uju Okafor. Uju, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma, for having me.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, man, let me see, Jama. Do wait to stand by as we bring you other programs we'll have lined up for your viewing pleasure this morning. Thank you.